All right. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do a Sunday show. Obviously, our regular scheduled program. Pickles is out. He is working today. Thanks, dude. So hope he's not working too hard. I doubt he is. He just doesn't like our show either. So it makes sense why he's not coming out today. Anyway, I'm not bitter, but I hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday. Some sad news out of the. Hang on a second. Sad news out of the real world, I guess. What's her face? Brenda passed away from breast cancer. Super sad. We got Darth Lopez coming in hot. What's up, Darth?
What up, bro? I'm off my phone. For some reason, I can't get it on my laptop.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. I mean, I'll just run everything as we usually do. No big deal. Yeah. So Sunday, good
What a
stuff.
Sunday, huh? What a Sunday.
Interesting Sunday. Sad
Interesting
Sunday.
year.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Brenda, man.
Rest in peace, Brenda, man.
Yeah. She was supposed to come to a Comic Con. I want to say this past year or last year, and then she like canceled last minute, and then like later on, the news came out that she was like, yeah, she's been like
Yeah.
sick for a while. I never
For
knew.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
man. I grew up watching her. Love 90210.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I even
definitely.
watched the remake. They didn't get a second season, but I thought the first season was all right.
Was she in that show too?
She came, I think she did like small, like she came in later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came in later on. But she wasn't in. I don't think she was in every episode. I think she might have been in maybe the last two.
Crazy man. Yeah. It's just
Yeah, dude.
yeah. A lot of my childhood. I saw a meme. It had like Dylan and Brenda.
Yeah,
It was like, I hope they're enjoying like something something. I was like, oh shit, that's right. Dylan died like a few years ago.
a few years
So,
ago. Yeah, dude, and I believe he was having a mini resurgence. He was on. I don't know what show he was
Riverdale.
on.
Riverdale.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But all right. Well, anyway, we'll wait for like I said, Pickles is out today. He's out of work today, so all good. And we got Fedor coming in. He'll join us in a little bit. So not a crazy show today. I think a pretty fun show. As I always think we can. Can we hit 25? Please hit 26. Unfortunately, that giveaways, it's on the Bay, man. It's going for like $5 right now. So if you want those freebies, it's that auction's ending today. But yeah, I just couldn't get to 25, man. I don't know what the peeps want anymore, but it's all good. We'll just roll with the loyal fan base that we have.
Yeah. Keep plugging away.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mojo Quit. It's literally on eBay right now. You can search for it here. I'll freaking put in the. I'll put in the. Here, I'll just show it. I'll just share it. We got time. We're just kind of hanging out until Fedora gets here anyway. So, but I'll plug it real quick. Hold on a second. We only got 4 in the chat right now anyway. So, but yeah, man, it's right here. It's the same giveaway I was trying to give away last week, and yeah, I mean, yeah, go for it, man. It's right there. But I don't have any giveaways for today, unfortunately. It's just such a bitch to go to the freaking post office and wait in line and send shit media mail. So I just haven't thought of doing any great big giveaways lately. And I don't really have any good stuff to give away anyway. So
Love that
there you
video.
go.
That's how I ship.
What's that?
Media mail.
Media mail? Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I mean, it gets there in the same amount of time.
I know.
Yeah.
What's funny too is like, people, I always see like pictures of people posting their like, USPS smash boxes and stuff. And I mean, media mail sends it the same exact way as first class, I feel like. So it's not like you're paying for, good type of service, I guess.
No, it's not going to get there any quicker, dude. It's still 3 to 5 days.
Yeah. And I guess the one thing you can help yourself out is like, man, I tip my delivery guy like $10, 10, 15, $10, $20, like, I don't know, once a quarter. And he drops all my shits off at the doorstep. So I'm good, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have the X-Men 185, man, and it's I don't know if it's gonna be a 98, but it's definitely 96 not pressed for sure. I would be very, very confident in that. I was gonna grade that book, to be honest, Michael Baker, but I just I don't know, man. I'm not feeling grading comics lately, unless it's a really like nice book, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the books that I just sent in,
Mhm.
that's just because I wanted them graded. But after that, I don't really have any. Yeah, I don't want to say I lost interest, but if I get anything graded, it'll be my books. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly,
like
exactly.
what is Copper Age, my era, whatever it is, 80s, 90s.
Mhm.
That'd be it.
Yeah,
But
dude.
other than that, I'm not chasing 9/8 to sell. No, I sold off a lot of moderns. I got my 181 money almost,
Mhm. Yeah.
but I'm not really. And it's funny because they got the quickest turnarounds ever, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I would be shocked if they're not gonna start laying off people at CGC.
Oh, they're doing that bad?
I mean, like the fact that that their turnaround times are like 10 to 15 days. I mean, I don't think people are submitting as much as they used to.
Right. Or they really did beef up. I mean, they did say they were doing that, building another facility.
Mhm.
Because yeah, that last batch of books, bro, it took a week.
Yeah.
That's
Stupid.
like, yeah. And I didn't even go I didn't go what is it? Express? Like, no, not
Mhm.
Express, but the other one, Fast Track. I didn't Fast Track. So I thought that was I. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
literally
Uh,
about a
Michael Baker, it's on eBay right now. It's ending today. So if you want to bid for it, man, let me know or bid on it. And if you win, hit me up and I'll throw in some goodies for you too. Yeah, man, I sent in like a couple of those like like those variants that we've been talking about in the Discord. Like I basically just flipped them. And dude, well, one, they're grading super hard, and then two, they came back like hella quick. So yeah, I just gotta assume that they're not man, I can't do that, man. It's gonna end today. I just can't, man. I'm sorry, man. I gotta let the market, do its thing, man, or I'll get hosed on eBay. But I mean, I don't know, whatever. But maybe one day I'll do like an Instagram sale. I'm just not really got the effort or patience to do that type of stuff. But anyway. Um, all right. Well, we only got 5 live today, but I do appreciate everyone coming through. What's up, Hack? Good to see you. My 509 homie. Michael Baker is always in the show. Thanks for your support, bro. Yeah, of course. And then I think we had Mojo Quids. What's up, man? And then I think DJ Wise is working today, but it is what it is. Thanks for doing a comment. Hey, the second place Brad's in the chat. What's going on, Brad? Just kidding. We love you, man. All right, man. Well, yeah, today's show's is kind of a goofy one, I would say. I was just trying to think of like types of comics that I was more curious about, that the community would be more curious about. This is kind of a mixture of there's nothing pre 2018 in this book or in this list, so it's a very modern, I guess you could say, uh, show today. It's just basically 1 in 100s and just going over through the market and just seeing what if they've held, kind of held the prices that they should, or if they've fallen down from grace. And if you guys do enjoy this list, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, we got 4 live in the chat today. So I do appreciate everyone's support. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Before I get into this, man, like Darth, are you ever like strayed away from like 1 in 100s because of the ratio ness and like the,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
100%, dude. I think I took some. Well, I don't want to say I took L's. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I got my money back on a batch of. I fell into the art germ 1 in 100 trap.
Ah.
Yeah, I have, but not to flip for
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know. I don't know. I'll just sitting on them. I think a few of them I had them pressed, and I never sent them in.
Oh.
And then I was like, just looking at them. I was like, you know what? I'm overspending sometimes in books anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Cut my losses.
Yeah.
And I'd say I didn't lose much money. I mean, because I
Mm-hmm.
never really got them. at racial or over, so they were always under racial, not much under racial, but under racial. But the good thing, I would get the 1 in 50. So it was a 1 in 100. I get the 1 in 50,
Mm-hmm.
25, and all the other variants.
Yeah, like the whole set, right?
Oh, set correct.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, some I kept, some I sold. Well, but if you take away
Some,
shipping, eBay fees, I'm
mm-hmm.
still maybe breaking even or maybe losing a little bit.
Yeah.
But which is okay because sometimes, hey, as long as you get, you know what I mean, you get most back. I'm good with it.
Right, right. And that's always like what the goal is, right? When you're quote unquote trying to flip or like invest. And like I think from my standpoint, it's so hard. Like Fedora does such a good job with trying to help like the Discord and like just peeps and like, us and the chat here, with his like, don't there doesn't have to be like a home run every week. If you
Oh
get
no,
a home run, like, as long as you're hitting a good average of home runs when you do try to attempt to hit a home run, like you're all
right.
right. But I just feel like he does like a really good job of just like, hey, like I'm not gonna have like a ratio or FOC every week, but when I do see one, I'll put one out and put his thoughts behind it and all that.
Yeah,
I've never really been a speculator on 1 in 100 just because of the fact that typically you have to have a huge buy-in, right? You have to have a lot of money up front, and
yeah.
then two, it's like, well, like what makes a 1 in 100 be part of one of those, like someone's gonna buy it and they're never gonna take it out of their collection, or they're gonna display it and that's gonna be the centerpiece of their collection. It's a hard kind of,
It's a risk.
it's a
It,
huge risk, right? And
yeah, it's
I
not.
think you guys will see through this list, man. It doesn't really hold, they don't really hold value
No,
except for one.
and
But anyway,
and if the only I think that, well, depending on the book or whatever, the only way be first to market, right?
yeah.
So if it was 1 in 100, and let's just say it doubled,
Hmm.
it made one of the lists or made both lists, and it doubled or whatever. After that, it's the first to market 9.8. I in my opinion,
Hmm.
right, and then that's
Yeah.
probably maximize, right, and then
Right.
after that it'll settle down. And so it's probably like a 9.8 1 in 100. You're probably $100 profit, maybe $150 profit
Yeah.
after you sold and grading fees and everything and all that. That's probably what you'd be making.
Hmm.
If dudes play that game. But that's why to me it's not even. You never guaranteed a 9.8 anyway. But it's like it's just not worth the risk.
Yeah. I mean, you really have to like love the book, you really
Uh,
have to like love that cover or the artist or whatever it is. But anyway, yeah, no, really, I just wanted to get what your kind of take was on 1 in 100s, because like, yeah, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to that type of stuff, but there might be some bargains too if you really like a cover, like just by waiting. So this one was a really tough one. I actually posted this on my Instagram, I think last week.
yeah.
It's the Champions #1 Alex Ross variant 1 in 100. I mean, even after the pandemic, this was going for like 400 to 500 and 9.8. I mean, I saw one sell like as low as 350, but the latest sale I saw in a 9.8, not a raw, not whatever, $150, man.
Yeah.
Um, this has a couple things going for it, right? Like I feel like this was like a pandemic,
Yeah.
like came out during the pandemic, so short print, whatever. What's up, Renee? Good to see you, man. And it's the trio of the new generation of, I guess, the next Marvel generation or whatever you want to call it. And it's a Alex Ross variant, so I was actually pretty shocked at how low this went down. But and as always, Fedora, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up,
Yo,
bro?
what's up, bro?
Yo,
Talking about some 1/100s, homie.
What?
I've never seen that one before.
You never
No.
seen this one before?
No,
No.
Oh,
Oh, this
it
was hot, bro.
this was white hot,
Yeah.
like
was
back
it
in the
really?
day.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, this is a big
Yeah,
time
Major
book. Yeah.
pandemic. Major.
yeah.
I always thought they do a version of like a champions and young Avengers, like both of those combined for like whatever they're gonna do in the MCU.
Hmm.
I always thought they used members from both teams.
They might, right? I mean, they might still do that. Am I right?
I thought the champions were cooler than the Young Avengers,
Yeah,
though, for sure.
yeah. I've never read Young Avengers, but I was finding all the except this, but I was finding a lot of this in the wild. I didn't read it, but I read the one after it, short
Mm-hmm.
one. I enjoyed it actually. You know what I mean? I thought it was good.
I thought Champions was cool, man. I wasn't mad at it at all. I actually liked Young Avengers the read better. I think it was a little more serious, but I thought Champions like the team was a lot cooler of a team. You know
They
what I
had
mean?
better characters. They had
Yeah.
they put
Right.
Gwenpool in it a few times, which I thought
Mhm.
was pretty neat. But
The
Yeah.
art was cool too, man. I like the art in Champions better than I think Young Avengers, but yeah, man, $150 for a 9.8. Would you go in on this for a 1/100 in this book? Is that like a time to eat?
Nah, man. Dude, I think the market is where the market's at. Where the market's
forever.
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Where the market's at right now, I think it'll be like that for a while. I think that I just think the spec days is over. I think now it comes down to collectors just collecting what they want. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like certain variants will pop. They'll pop for a minute, and they'll fizzle out,
Yeah.
and then it's on to the next. I don't, you know what I mean? Unless the MCU turns it around to most people that bring up that pop in the comic book
Mm-hmm.
world.
It's still going pretty strong, man. At least from my end, people coming in and they want the MCU books, so we're selling a lot of like really good wall books. So I would say it's definitely fizzling out, but definitely people are wanting to get keys that they believe are gonna retain its luster. So it's not really like, oh man, this variant is crazy, or oh, this new first appearance is gonna go crazy. It's like, yo, like what character is established and well known that I could like finagle at like a reasonable price that's gonna like hold value over time, even if it's like a little value over time. People would rather that than like whatever,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like, there's a collectors younger than me in their 20s are just like, like I just want to get some Marvel keys. Like I don't really, they don't really like to really play around with the variants too much anymore. And I don't blame them because,
Yeah,
a lot
100.
of these younger guys had just started getting into it during the pandemic. They got burned, but the ones that stood understand, like that did their research, that did the due diligence. It's just like, okay, like I'm not doing this variant shit anymore, but these wall books though, so they're making educated choices, I would say. At least this is from like, I had a few people come in
Yeah.
yesterday,
That's
a
really
little,
smart.
a little
I want
younger
to
than
highlight.
me.
I want to highlight a couple comments real quick. So this is a great comment right here. We Richards, what's going on, man? So this is actually what I was talking about with a book. On one of my market reports. When these
Oh
one
yeah,
in 100s,
yeah,
150s hit those Walmart packs,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
flooded the market.
yeah.
That was, I think, and I agree with Reed Richards, man. Like that was like, okay, if I really want a book, this is the time to buy it because the market's flooded, like supply and demand. But if you held one of those books and was trying to sell it, you're like, oh fuck, I better sell it right away or I'm screwed. And then kind of to touch on kind of what Fedora was saying, Michael Baker, man, this is a great comment right here. eBay sold a shit ton of Red Hulk ones this week, and I think, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man, that trailer, like I was searching, but I was like, nope, don't give into the FOMO.
Oh yeah,
And I don't know if people are waiting to sell those books, but I tell you what, man, that trailer was fucking phenomenal,
pretty good.
legitimately.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah, I liked it. All right, on to the next one.
We had a Michael Turner Red Hulk cover. I think it was signed by him as well, and it's
Oh
sold.
yeah. That Michael Turner book. I'm curious why it didn't go up that much.
I don't know. We had it for 80 signed by him,
Mm.
and it sold the day the trailer dropped. Somebody came in and was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I want that." As soon as the store opened, and I was like, "What the?" Like, bro, chill.
yeah, bro.
Like, bro, like.
I I didn't finish my comments on this one, but Invincible number 100, the 1 in 100 black and white variant. I couldn't find a lot of like independent market, like 1 in 100 variants on this list, so I do apologize. But this is the one that I thought, man, out of all of them, I'd probably invest in this one just because it's a milestone issue. It's Invincible. Not a lot of people were buying Invincibles. I don't know what the market was showing for it, but while I look that up, I'm gonna start with Fedora. Did you guys like? I don't know if you know, but like, does Invincible, is that a highly ordered comic at Midtown?
Yeah, the library editions sell all the time.
I mean,
Like,
the individual issues.
It's good luck, man. Good luck finding those.
I mean,
the people that have it don't
Uh-huh.
want to like sell it to the store. Like they don't want to give
Gotcha.
it to the buyers. So like a lot of people that have it now hold on to it. So like
Mhm.
any Invincible from like 1 to whatever, that's
Yeah.
like going up on the wall. Like you'll never find those in back issue bins. I almost fell.
Push.
You'll never find those in back issue bins like ever. Like is good luck finding it.
For sure. But check this out. So May 13th, there's a best offer from Canada for $440. I don't know if that was the actual amount, but then I was looking at, let's see here. I was looking at listings for this book. Hold on. Let's see here. Dude wants $12.99 for this book, man. What was I gonna say? Darth, man. I know what you're a Captain Marvel like lover, but
Yes.
are you like Invincible, man? Like, do you mess
No,
with Invincible?
no. I was out of the hobby when this was going on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so no.
And do you kind of like I wasn't
I never found
sleeping
anything
on it.
Like I hunted a lot, you know what I mean? Pandemic era time.
Sure.
And never found anything Invincible at all. Not even just nothing. Only the reprints.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of those or like free comic book day stuff, but
Sure.
nothing of value.
Yeah.
Paperbacks either.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for those to see because those I think go for decent or were flippable.
Yeah. And I think I like by the time that the like momentum was starting to catch on.
Yeah.
Number 1 was going for like $2,000 raw, and I was like, oh man, if number 1's going for $2,000, like I missed the boat. I didn't even try.
100%. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine that had 2 complete runs of this. Dead.
It's a great sell, man. Fedora Mojo Quiz got a question for you. Fedora, what store do you work in? I'm gonna try and stop by when I'm in New York to see my dad.
I'm at Midtown Comics Grand Central. So if you want to stop by I'm there Friday, Saturdays. I do FedEx. Sometimes Sundays. I'll be there next week on Sundays. Sometimes Sundays. It's rare, but you might see me there on Sundays. But Friday, Saturdays, open until close. Stop by. Check out the wall books. My location has the best wall book section in any world. Well, I don't know about the world, but we do have the best. Like they send us the best because we have the best people selling them. So we really do though. We really do.
No, yeah, you guys do for sure. All right, on to the next. So I was gonna go with Spider-Man 1, but I thought this cover, I thought it was just so cool. Spider-Man 2, the very hard to find 1 in 100 variant. I think this is like, we're talking about spec. I know people don't like meetup like variants or whatever, but the fact that this is a number 2, it's a 1 in 100. I think the cover's really cool. It's kind of a big buy-in. It's pretty rare, but I like it. There's a 600, or it's going for 600 in raw grade. 9/8 are going for 1K plus, and that's recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no Miles news. I mean, there's not any Spider-Man news coming out. It's really expensive, but maybe you find it,
There was
maybe Fedora has it at his shop. Who knows, man? It might be a nice one later down the road.
We don't have that.
I know,
but I will say there was like a customer was like, oh, nobody could be, because there was like two customers talking, and then one guy was just like, "Yeah, man, Spider-Man's for everybody. Anybody could be Spider-Man." And then one customer was like, "Nah. Like, the only Spider-Man, the only person that could be Spider-Man is Peter Parker." And then everybody was like, "What?" And then I was just
the
like,
fights and the fists came out.
and then I was like, I agree with you, but not because of like where you're coming from, because Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Like, he's like, when people like come into the shop, when kids come into the shop, they don't say Spider-Man, they say Miles Morales. So, like, if you could carve your own identity outside of Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
I think that like you don't need news or a movie or anything like you're set. So yeah. I guess if you want to spend that much on this book, it's rare. The cover is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Miles Morales first and Spider-Man second. I know it says it on the top of the thing, but like I picked up a comic book and above Spider-Man it said Miles Morales. So he's, so if you want to spend that much, I wouldn't be mad at it, especially if it's like a rare book.
It seems to be pretty rare, man. I mean, I only found like 2 listings, and I found a couple solds for that much. So it's going for that much, I guess. So
I mean, I'm not mad at it. There was like the Fiona Staples variant, the 1 in 50 of him between the 2 cars.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah. What you gonna say, Darth?
No, I said that's beautiful. Like that book. If I had that money, and I don't read Miles, right? But if I had bread, I would have that book just because I like it. I think it's
it's so funny. I asked Ferd if he wanted to buy one off my cousin for like $700.
And then it sold, right? No, he hit me up. Yeah.
Nah, a customer.
That's actually no. Would that be a fair deal? Because that book is expensive, and I don't think
I told my cousin that. I was like, "Yo, this is a $2,000 book, bro."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yeah, but it's not about the money. I'd rather sell it to somebody who really wants it." Yeah, and I'm like, "You sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it, bro." And I'm like, "All right," because he got it for free. He traded somebody a Thanos book for it, and he was like, "Ha ha ha, sucker." and then he was like. And then we were talking about it, and I'm like, "Yo, that's a $2,000 book, like as is, or around there." And then he was just like, "Yo, if you know somebody that wants to buy it," and I'm like, "For 2,000, yeah, sure." And then he was just like, "Nah, I sell it for like 600-700. I don't care, man." Like he's just like, "This is just fun for me. Like if I can make a little bit of money off the side, like whatever." And then I told Ferd, I was like, "Yo, like if my cousin is trying to get rid of his." And then he was just like, I don't know. And then a customer, he came in that I'm like really cool with. I know his family, great guy. I go over for dinner sometimes. And I was like, "Yo, he has that." And he was like, "He has that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he got in his car and he's like, "Let's drive to his house right now."
Jesus Christ.
I was like, are you serious? He was like, yes, right now.
Hell yeah.
How much did you pay for it?
$700.
$700.
Then my cousin gave me $100.
Look at that.
Damn.
Whether he flipped it or not, it don't matter. He knew what it was. He wanted it.
Yeah, they both knew what it was.
Yeah.
So.
If I had money, I'd have it on the wall.
Just for sure, man. That's my favorite Miles cover out of all the Miles covers.
Yeah.
But this cover right here, Wolverine 310, kind of a random 1 in 100 nonetheless. But Stephen Platt, in my opinion, is so underrated. I think this is like one of the sickest modern Wolverine covers like ever. I've never seen this book in person before, and eBay hasn't either. There's one listed on eBay for like $6,000, which is insane. It's signed by somebody. I didn't even like check. I was like, that's just ridiculous. But I gotta imagine there's not a ton of these out there because it's a 100. Even though it's Wolverine, it's a later issue in the run. The cover's just amazing though, man. I do dig this cover. What do you guys think about this one, fellas? Have you guys seen this before?
This is hella metal.
Never.
This would be like on a Cannibal Corpse t-shirt. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it would be.
I know Cannibal Corpse. Yeah. Yeah, I'm again out of the hobby when this came out, so
I've never seen that.
Yeah, no, I've seen it talked about. I've never seen it. Don't know nobody who has it.
Must be low print then, no?
It's
Yeah,
got it's
like I
gotta be.
said,
I
it
just couldn't
has
find anything.
over 1 in 100 an issue 310.
Yeah,
Yeah, and was anybody again? All the usuals. Was anybody reading that? You know what I mean? Back then, probably only
No.
diehard Wolverine fans, and even
yeah,
then, they probably weren't spending whatever a 1 in 100 went for back then.
yeah.
So
I mean, what 1 in 100s were pretty rare at that time. No.
yeah, yeah,
Gotta be right.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, Chad. You guys ever seen this book before? Like, I I remember looking at this book during like just hard to find cover shows or something, and I was like, man, that Stephen Platt guy's pretty good. And then I just kind of like looked at his
But
art, and every single cover I see for Stephen Platt just like hella expensive.
he,
So
he's got an
um,
X Force, doesn't he?
there's
Uncanny
a
X.
lot of like X-Men books for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think he's a great artist, man.
It reminds me of Maria Wolf. He's kind of got like that
Yeah,
style.
a little bit, right? A little bit cleaner.
Like they're not the same, but they got like that heavy metal. Like you could put it on a T-shirt. It's like really rocker.
Yeah.
Like they could definitely get hired by what like Falling in Reverse to do a T-shirt for them or some shit like that.
Oh shit. Okay. Somebody's selling a signed 9.6 for $50K on eBay. $50,000 for a signed fucking comic, man.
Ain't no way. Is that real?
Username. Yeah. You want to look? You want to see?
Yeah, then
I see it.
I'm interested to see what Mook is selling that for $50K.
I haven't heard you say that in a long time.
what book?
Yeah, it's
So
fucking dumb.
So there's a black and white version, and then there's this guy, 3K for 9.4. It's signed by the artist. It's not signed by like anyone like legit. It's just signed by Stephen Platt. So, and I couldn't find any souls. So,
I just feel like it's just
all right, moving on. We don't want Fedora, irritated in the afternoon. But before we do move on, I just want to thank all 12 in the chat. Thanks for coming through. Join us on a Sunday. We're at 675.
that's a Dolan book.
That's a Dolan book. 675 subscribers. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe. Tell all your friends. We're trying to get to 700 subs. We're almost monetized. I gotta put out more content. I put out. What's up, Maddie? I put out a One Piece market report on I think Friday or Thursday, and man, that's like my new hit, man. We'll talk about that on Tuesday on the Ronin 5 crew nameless show, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone for your support, and continuing on to the next book. All right, Invincible Iron Man #1, the photo variant, 1 in 100. Do you guys remember just seeing these in back issue bins and no one giving a shit about these photo variants ever?
We had so many photo variants. There was this one Spider-Man photo variant we had from like a show, from like a Spider-Man show from like the 80s, a live action.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay, yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah, I remember watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had like a lot of those, but now they're all gone. We had so many of them. I don't really know like why people started buying them, but a lot of people have been buying photo variants. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer photo variants we had, and we had photo variants of that. Who's that weird looking dude that played Spider-Man, the movie with the lizard? And he was in the
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, there you go.
Weird looking dude. That's
That's fucked up. All right.
Oscar nominated actor.
Well, he don't got the face of an Oscar nominated actor.
That's the greatest response of all time, right there.
Yeah, dude. He was my favorite part of that Spider-Man movie, dude. I thought for me, you know what I mean. I thought he stole the show.
I thought he was a good Spider-Man. I didn't think he was like a good Peter Parker. It was weird because
yeah.
The first one, Toby was a phenomenal Peter Parker, but he wasn't a good Spider-Man. And then we got Andrew Garfield, and then he was a phenomenal Spider-Man, but he wasn't a good Peter Parker. And then we finally got Tom Holland, who was kind of like the balance of the two.
Right.
Agree.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, man, forever will be my Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Peter Parker, man, he was the best.
That second movie holds up. To me, it's one of the top 5 greatest comic book movies of all time.
The Garfield Spider-Man?
No, Spider-Man 2 with Tobey.
Oh, the second Spider-Man. Yeah, dude,
bro, that movie. I mean,
does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles count? 1990.
No, that was
I'll
horrible.
count that, man. That's one of my favorites. So I remember waiting in line for an hour with my dad in the car in the rain
Dude,
in Seattle, man, waiting for that damn movie.
I'm not a Turtles fan. I'm a GI Joe fan, so I have beef. I have eternal beef.
Oh my god,
Yo, there was
I got beat
there
with
was
them turtles.
Yeah, I
there,
do,
yo,
bro. You know what I mean? They wiped GI Joe away.
there was some
It was just a changing of the era. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I still fucked her, but honestly, I
yeah,
didn't dig it as a kid.
yeah.
I was getting older anyway, but still.
Fuck them turtles, man. Fuck them
Yeah,
turtles.
it was the
yeah,
end of an era.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. So anyway, so this was going for 9.8, signed by Robert Downey, not County, Robert Downey Jr. Man, I need to edit my shit. I thought that was pretty cool. If you, I mean, I've never seen this book before. Looks like dude found a place to crash. What's up, Doc Joe? Good to see you, man. But yeah, I never ran into these photo variants except for one time. I actually got sent one that's signed by two dudes. The infamous Robert Downey Jr. Photo variant that everyone gets signed. It's signed, but I don't know who it's signed by. And so I hate to put it on eBay, but I don't want it. It doesn't mean anything to me, but maybe I'll just throw it up there one day. Who knows? But nonetheless, if you want this book, you gotta pay $9K for it, or just go dive in those back issue bins. Who's more the Star Wars fan between you two? I want to say, is it Darth Lopez? I think you're more the Star Wars fan than Fedora is. Am I right?
I don't. Once we get into wars and Treks and Galacticas, like you lose me.
Oh,
And Gates and SG ones.
I love Star Wars. And then, you know what? Shout out to any Star Wars fans watching. I know Acolyte is almost over, and I don't know. Mixed feelings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I watched that one episode. It dragged me back in, and then I stopped watching again.
Dude, I just don't. Sometimes I don't understand why they can't get the IP right. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like a winning formula, but you don't know how to win with it.
It's like the Lakers.
Sports and Star Wars, you know what I mean? It's almost like having Michael Jordan in his prime, but you couldn't win a championship.
Here's a good analogy. It's like when Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Kobe, and Shaq were on the team, and they couldn't get it done.
But you know what though? They were aging, and that Detroit Pistons teams were well coached, and they were defensively really, really good. But
guess what? Star Trek is aging.
Yeah. Star Trek is aging. But we don't want to. I mean, all it comes down for me with that show, real quick, is this last episode to see who are the Sith, the one or the two. That's really comes down to, and for me, I don't think it's enough to save the show. It'll be mid. I don't hate it, and I don't love it.
When's the last episode of this?
This Tuesday.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'll watch the last episode just to support the algorithm. I'll watch the last episode.
Yeah.
The only way I ever watched, I've only seen Star Wars Phantom Menace when it came out. That's the only Star Wars thing that I've seen.
Man, I skipped school for that stupid movie, but yeah.
And so the only way to get me to watch a Star Wars movie or Star Wars, anything Star Wars related, is if Dash Rendar comes back, if Arden Lin gets introduced in any live action or any comic book or whatever, or if they do a movie or show so far back that they don't even have lightsabers or any of that shit. Because it's
just humans. That's it.
That's a lot.
It's just the Force.
What if it was word of mouth? What if word of mouth was like, "Yo, man, this movie's fire. Star Wars is back."
Nah, that's not gonna do nothing for me. I want to see some shit I ain't never seen before. I want to see like Force monks doing kung fu on some Avatar shit. I just want to go so far back because then nobody could complain. And I feel like just everybody's always complaining about Star Wars. When I was a kid, people complained about it. Now I'm an adult, people complain about it. Just go so far back that the slate is clean. There's no continuity for people to cry about. It's brand new, clean as crystal. No one can say anything. Who are you gonna go to now? What source book you gonna reference?
See, I get everything you're saying, but it's just what they've done with the property. That's why there's a lot of complaints. they make money, but it's not like it's a winning formula. You know what I mean? Like that's why the fan base is the way it is because they put out mediocre to to trash
Hey,
for a
listen,
long time now. Like for
I just want to see
like
something different. That's all. I'm over
yeah,
lightsabers. I'm over this. Like let's see like dudes in like with jetpacks or like I don't know. Like let's see something.
that's
Like no star cruisers, no spaceships. Like they're just on the
Just do a
planet.
bounty hunter show and get over with.
yeah.
Do a bounty hunter show like they've been talking about doing a fucking bounty hunter show. All right, I don't want to get into Star Wars shit because like it's boring as hell
Shout
to me.
outs
So
to Ethan Sachs, the writer of the Bounty Hunters comic.
all right, Ethan Sachs, yeah,
Yo,
there
that's
you
my
go.
guy. That's my guy.
Well, Darth, since you are
Yeah.
a Star Wars fan,
Yes.
have you ever? Are you one? Do you believe in the Afro hype, or do you think
No,
it? Are you or like me? Do you think it's just bullshit?
it's bullshit.
And then two, do you like this book? It's my favorite Afro book. If I was an Afro fan, I think it's my favorite cover,
Oh.
but I think it's overpriced.
Yeah,
Personally.
no, wasn't a fan of this one. I was a fan of the character. I thought the first run was amazing. I like the Bartel cover better. The issue 6, I think it is 1 in 25. But no, I don't believe the hype. I never believed the hype back then in the pandemic when there were, this character had a lot of fire,
Yeah,
a lot of spec. I never believed in the character because it would make no sense to bring her in. And this, I mean, they had come off, the debacle that was the sequel, so I never thought we'd see her.
yeah.
Still don't think we'd ever see her.
And I don't. I mean, like they're in a different like time frame right now. So like to go back to where she's at now, you'd have to do like a one off or like it's all over the place anyway.
Yeah,
So
it would make no sense. But comic wise, she has her fans. And,
sure,
they can do whatever they're doing with that character.
right?
But like live action, I doubt it. But
Yeah, I highly doubt it. It'd just be so tough. I mean, you could find a good actress to play her. I think that'd be pretty easy. But the story just doesn't flow with what they're putting out lately. Anyway.
Yeah.
So this is my kind of like this is something I was hunting for when I was just looking for deals and whatnot. Absolute Carnage is probably one of my favorite stories in the past, like I would say 5 or 6 years. It was Donny Cates at his height, I would say.
I did read this.
I mean, this book, I always talk about Absolute Carnage. That's probably why I have this book out there. But
Rip Donny Cates.
Oh yeah, he banned me. He like
he banned you?
Yeah, he blocked me on IG.
Oh shit! What'd you say about him?
I just say he couldn't stick the
I like it. Oh yeah.
Well, everybody felt the same, dude. I first read him in Guardians of the Galaxy, like the only one I've ever read, and I remembered the name. And then I loved Thor up to a certain point. I loved Venom up to a certain point. King in Black up to a certain point. It's just like he couldn't finish off his stories that were great.
I feel like this was the only one he stuck because it continued on to King in Black.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I think I read this. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can remember, but I know I read King in Black.
Yeah. King in Black did not. I mean, that was like the last one. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, $21.50 for this book though for a 1/100, man. I like it. Doc Joe says it looks like a tomato accident, but and the reason I like this book is because of the guts, and I would like a 1/100. It's a virgin, which is pretty cool, and I think Stegman's a great artist, man. I dig his art personally.
It's underrated, man.
Yeah. Real quick, Fedora, I want to ask you something. Where are you eating at in New York, and where's your Red Bull at?
How do I switch this?
Okay, we're good there.
The yellow edition. And it's like a cafe.
Is it bodega?
Bodega, yeah.
It's like a bodega cafe.
Where the cats at? There's no cats in your bodega.
Nah, this is not that kind of bodega. There's a few. There's like a few, but they've been getting closed down left and right recently, because because recently like it's been legal to like sell and smoke cannabis and THC in public out in the street. Like it's just whatever. But what's happening is that when you have a smoke shop, because now bodegas are turning into smoke shops.
Okay.
So when you have a smoke shop, you have to have certain licenses to sell
Cannabis.
certain types of strains.
Yeah.
So like they have the license to sell cannabis, and they think that that's enough. But then what happens is that certain strains that they get are like illegal to own,
Yeah.
and so then what ends up happening is that the sheriff, not even NYPD, like the state deputies and officers and like the sheriff's people, they pull up and then they're like, "Yo, where your license at? Let me see what you're selling." And then if they don't like it, you get mopped. So everybody's been
Poor
getting
kitties,
mopped.
man.
That's crazy.
Damn.
So they can't sell high grade herb.
I don't really know the specifics because I don't partake in that. Like that's
Yeah,
not my like area of expertise.
yeah,
But I know for sure, like you know, that's like the sentiment is like it's crazy. Like everywhere they're getting closed down. Like around my Midtown Comics in Grand Central, literally in the block, like right where we're at, there was like 4 shops in that whole entire area, and they all got closed down.
Damn.
it's
No more
crazy.
sandwiches, man. All right, on to the next one. So I picked a current one, June 2024. I just picked up the 18th print of this book just to read it. I don't know if anybody reads this book still in the chat, but I haven't heard a lot about it lately. But this book, man, had like awesome character, right? Solo series, great story. This book was something for like you guys remember like 300 to 400 raw.
Wait,
First one
was
of
this
100.
with the MF tribute?
I
I think
think
this is right. Yeah, I
so.
think this is.
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys have this in your shop, Fedora?
Yeah, we had it. I didn't care for this.
Yeah, I'm not a
I was like,
gelato guy.
Yeah.
people were going crazy for it though. There was like people
Yeah.
who've never read comics were like, nah, I'm gonna frame it and put it on my wall. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
$300 for a 9.8 asking. So like again, like
it
Darth
was
Vader
90. It was like 90 when we had
for
it or
raw.
something like. Yeah, it was.
It's
It
like
was.
$100 or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that. Then if you had your rewards, you got some money off of it. So
Yeah, yeah.
it was.
Um, I mean, like, kind of like what Darth was saying. It's, we were talking about Fedora earlier. Like, do you try and flip or like invest in 1/100s? And it's like, it's hard because, like, one, the buy-in's really high. And then two, it seems kind of gimmicky.
Mhm.
And, this is kind of this has the character, this has the art, this has the cover, has a story, has everything in it. But it's, it went super high initially and now it's kind of coming down. I mean, from a 300 raw to 398, I mean,
Yeah,
that's a lot, so.
I mean, like, I feel like for me, like, if you're gonna buy it, you gotta kind of estimate what it would go for in 9.8. So
yes,
it's probably like at the peak raw is probably what it's gonna be in 9.8.
Right.
Mhm.
Like by the time you grade it and it comes back and all that other stuff. So I guess it's
Yeah.
if it's worth it for you, right, to get rid of it right away or to hold
Mhm.
on to it. But I do think like hip hop fans that are like comic book fans, they're like
Yeah.
fanatics about memorabilia, like when it
Yeah.
comes to certain rappers.
Most
So
definitely.
I think like if you have a 9.8, I think that that's like something that you should probably like hold on to because my cousin who sold the one Miles 1 and 50, he's a huge hip hop guy, and the one variant he will never sell is the Miles Morales Nas. That's like the one
That's the
thing
one
he
I
would
want.
never
That's the
sell.
only one I ever want.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
I want I want the Tupac Spider Man.
he has like all of them. He has like every single hip hop variant. He's a huge hip hop fan, hip hop historian. So I would say that like any hip hop homage, you should definitely hold on to it because the market for hip hop memorabilia or hip hop collectors or like stuff like that, it's strong.
Mhm.
So
And they may find out about this later on.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, absolutely.
I got
Because until you mentioned that, I forgot about the homage. So
Yeah. So
I got the Captain Marvels, obviously.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the hip hop variants. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one. I got one more after, I think I got two after this one. But yeah, I thought this was like, I remember this going for quite a bit because of Werewolf One Night, like Spec and all that. But I remember, I forgot whose show was it. It might have been Mighty Mel B. It might have been Ninth Wonder. I can't remember, but they highlighted this book, and I was like, man, it's just like a really beautiful book, man. And then a good friend of the show, Matrix Comics, he is a big Plug fan, and I think we had him on a show a while back, and he might have actually brought this book up. But it's going for 222 and 9.8, which I thought was like, honestly, I thought probably wouldn't pay that much for it, but I thought that was low for fans of Werewolf by Night or Plug. Forget about the MCU spec, man. This book is just beautiful to me. Darth, what's your thoughts on this book, man? Have you ever heard of it before?
No, never. First time I see it. It's a nice book.
It's pretty, right? It's different.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But it comes down to, the preference. If somebody's going to buy this book, it's because they want it.
Yeah.
I don't even think if you think of flipping books, you would take a risk on it.
Sure. And
Unless
if you have it,
really cheap. Yeah.
If you have it, you got it. You got it cheap for like, I don't know, 50 or 100, which I doubt.
Right.
If you're cool with selling for 222, then I guess that's where the market's at. But Fedora, man, you want to have your insights on this book?
It's a variant. That's like it reminds me of it kind of reminds me of this Conan variant. It's like the second most expensive one.
Was that?
How old is it?
Rosetta's?
It's a modern. Yeah, it's Conan, and there's like a naked woman on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was a good seller.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
It reminds me of like that, like old timey, like not old timey, but like that art style, like that Frazetta. It's like a more modern take on it, but I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen Conan like. Well, then again, I never really hunted Conan like that, but
I never liked Conan as a comic.
Dude, that Jason Aaron run was pretty fire, man. It only went for like 12 issues. It's the only time I've ever read Conan, and that shit was fire.
I thought it was funny how they tried to integrate Conan into like being part of a team.
Yeah, dude, he was
so weird.
The Savage Avengers.
Yeah.
Those were good reads, bro. Those were fun reads, bro. When he's like,
were they?
They had
fucking around with Punisher.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
they had
like
Venom.
they time travel like Conan to like the future and shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know how they did that.
Hey, Conan is just a badass wherever he's at. Badass.
Yeah.
I thought it was
24. Okay, let's look it up. So you guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
Oh yeah, thank you, Weed Richards, my guy. Yeah.
Conan 24. Is this it?
Bro, that's what it reminds me of. Like,
oh, this one.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, he put the painter's tape on across the chest.
eBay was gonna snipe him.
Good call. Yo, Matrix Comics, what's going on? We were just
should I get that? We have that at the shop.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, that Conan book.
Matrix, man. We were just talking about. Oh, he sold his 9.8, of course.
I bet you did. My man's Doc Joe. Can you give me some dental work?
Yo, Doc Joe, I'm all good on my dental work. My dentist said your teeth are immaculate.
My dentist said mine
floss
aren't.
in between that retainer on the bottom. That's all they said to me, but I'm good.
Yo, Matrix, you famous, bro.
You famous, bro. All right, almost an hour into the show. I want to thank the panel for coming through on a Sunday. We're minus a Pickles. He's at Boeing.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
They called him in this weekend. They're like, we need to talk to you about something.
Did they really?
Every facility that they had in California, they contaminated, and they all got they got lead. I used to work on that hill. We used to call them the porn hill because it was in Chatsworth, California, like the San Fernando Valley. but they had a whole mountain where they had facilities, and we got there when it was just the soil. So we were doing remediation, taking out the soil.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right,
What do you?
but it was like mini bunkers, bro. Like you'd go in a mini bunker. So I think they tested mm, fuel, jet engines or bombs, and more inland in LA. Like they had facilities all got torn down, like all acid tanks, caustic tanks, dug all that shit out.
Damn.
All the facilities closed. I think they moved, but California is really big on environmental. So anything around the school,
Yeah.
it's they don't they shut
They
all
don't
that
mess with it.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, don't mess with the children, bro.
No, all the lead in the soil and all that, and the
Listen,
water.
I grew up in the Bronx in the '90s. We was drinking that lead
Oh yeah,
water from the school, breathing in that garbage air from Hunts Point. You know, like
when you see the memes of the kids, those memes. I love those memes. What you drink because that's what we did. Go outside all day,
oh yeah.
water
I think you
fountains.
posted that. I think you posted that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
drink that shit all day, dude. That was when kids could play outside. I don't know if they can play outside now. I mean,
Listen,
I
if
don't
you
really know.
drank from that fountain, you were immune from COVID. That's all I'm saying, bro.
All right. Let's stop talking about that shit, man.
oh, this.
I gotta go to the bathroom. That's why. Board Rouse number 10100.
I miss this, man.
What? So I'm not. I didn't really go into the 10100 stuff with this new Energon universe. Not because I didn't like it, because I actually that's my favorite universe to read right now.
Oh yeah, 100.
But I was thinking, like, if I could go back and kind of let the markets kind of settle, right? Like, and I wish Cody was in the chat. I don't see him in the chat here, but like, I feel like this is the best one to get and just get in 9.8 or fucking 9.9 or whatever. I wouldn't pay more than 200 for it. It's
No.
kind of risky.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I'll let you guys talk. I gotta hit the bathroom real quick. You guys
Run.
talk about this for me.
Yeah, I'd buy this to keep it. It would be no spec involved in it. I'd just buy it to keep it. But
I couldn't get into the Void Rivals. I tried to read it. And I was
you know
like,
what? It's the one that I'm behind on. I'm a little bit behind. I've been working a lot, but that whole universe, that G.I. Joe, all of that shit is fire, man. Like, dude, it's so good. It's so good that I'm saving up each issue up to 3 issues so that I can read them all back to back to back.
Oh,
But it's
I don't know. Like I can't. Like Transformers is a little bit before my time, so like it's really hard for me to get into like this Transformer GI Joe stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, but I did read the new stuff, and I actually really liked it. I mean, good thing if you like GI Joe. There was like this one kid, this is a little kid who came in with his parents from Brazil, and then he was like, "Yo, I only want GI Joe stuff," and I was like, "That's interesting." Like
Yeah.
there's little foreign kids asking for like GI Joe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there still might be some life in it left. Usually like nobody. Oh well, older people usually ask for GI Joe. So
Yeah.
now I'm wondering, like if a revival is good for GI Joe, because they tried to bring it back many times.
Yeah.
With The Rock, and then they tried to get that.
They again they botched that. That Channing Tatum to play Duke. No,
That wasn't bad. Listen,
no, that wasn't bad. That was horrible. Like that.
Damn, you didn't like Channing Tatum?
Oh no, not at all. Not as an actor. I mean,
He's a hunk, bro. He's a hunk.
he may be good looking dude, but his acting, it's. I mean, it. I like him as the funny as what is it? 21 Jump Street.
Oh yeah.
And I did like Magic Mike. It is what it is, but that shit was hilarious. You know what I mean?
The one with Salma Hayek in there. Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
She's it's nice.
Salma is something,
She's
woman,
forever a goddess,
bro. She's like what 59, 60. I think she hit 30.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yo, you know what was Salma Hayek? Yeah. Doesn't Danny Trejo have a tattoo of her on her chest?
It looks like
I have a tattoo of her on my chest.
Yeah, it looks like her. It's not really her.
I don't.
It's not.
From what I've read, because
why does he have a tattoo of her on her chest?
It looks like her. It's coincidental, I believe.
That's weird, man.
I just literally maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I think it's coincidental. It just looks like her. because that's like a Hispanic thing out in LA, right? The smile now, cry later type tattoos, cholo tattoos. I could be mistaken. I thought that it's similar to Salma Hayek.
Huh.
I, I could be wrong, but
We should do a Salma Hayek favorite comic book cover show.
We should.
It'd be a 2-minute show.
Yo, you know what happened for it? That was mad weird.
What's
like this past few days, there's this kid from France. He was with his mom, and then he walked up to me, and then he was like, "Do you have a video? A video?" And I'm like, "A video? A video? A video? A video?" I'm like, "What are you asking for, a little kid?" And then, and then he goes, "Usagi, Usagi Yojimbo." And then I'm like,
"Wait, is he Italian or French?"
I don't know, but, but he was like Usagi Yojimbo, and I was like, "You want Usagi Yojimbo?" And then he was like, yes. And then I was like showing him Usagi books. And then he pulls out his phone and he's like, do you have this? And he shows me the first issue, the first appearance of Usagi Yojimbo. And I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, yo, like, I was just like, you're going to have to get a job for that one, kid.
You're going to have to get a job and work a lot of times.
Hey, no, bro, baby, wealthy.
And that's kind of cool you knew about it, though. You know what I mean? That's kind of cool you knew about it.
That's so weird. And I'm like, it was like a language barrier. So I was like trying to ask him like how he found out about it. And then the next day, another kid comes in. Maybe he's like in his early 20s, like maybe 2021. And he buys 2 Usagi Yojimbo omnibuses. And then I was like, well, I was mad confused. And I'm like, you like Usagi Yojimbo? And he was like, yeah, like I was into, because he found out about it through the Ninja Turtles. Yeah. And we were talking about it for a bit. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's dope.
Did you see this? Did you see this? It goes, wait,
Super Mario.
He's literally Italian.
I listen. I don't.
Yojimbo.
Yeah,
but he was German. He is German. K walks in saying
German. He speaks Italian.
Yeah, but you know, Wario is actually German and he has an Italian accent.
This is the dude. This is more Michael Baker. How was his mom? We talk about Milt. Was she cool? Like, was she good?
Well, she was older, but
he's like older. She was like 35.
Nah, way older than that.
Okay.
They probably had bread, bro. Probably probably rich.
You probably talked to like the consulate's kid or some shit, man. Like
you never know. He probably put on American.
But there's a lot of people with like money that pull up, like
hell yeah,
that are just
City,
like
baby.
So.
All right. Well, last but not least, I had to pick one of like my favorites. I know, like I have a lot of nostalgia for this, like just recent nostalgia, but I wonder if you guys feel the same.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Spider.
Come on, Fer.
And this is the reason why I gotta say why I like this book, man.
So why do you like this book?
This is the book that when I first got back into collecting and like thought about spec, and this is pre-pandemic, like this is the book that actually like I went hunting for, and it was like $200 to $300 back in the day. I remember listening to the old Pressable Defects podcast, and those homies were talking about this book, and a personal friend of mine, Yeezy Yee, dude, whenever I see this book, I think of him, man. So I know, and here's another thing too. Out of all the books on like 10100s, like this has stayed the test of time. Like it still goes for $1,000 $9.8.
God,
it hasn't gone up quite like it went up pretty big during the pandemic, like every other book did. But did it fall tragically? No, there wasn't really that big of like appearances for it. It's a beautiful cover, and I know. And here's another thing too. It's been homage. So whenever a book's homage, right? It does it for a reason. And Doc Joe, man, you have so many other great books. This isn't even like a big deal, I bet, for you. But yeah, man, I feel bad a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be a Swordmaster book, man. It sounds Bob Red. I hate you, but I love you. Dora, you're not liking this book so much. Tell us why.
I mean, until you said that, I changed my mind. Actually, You know, it's
No,
still
I mean, it's all good. It's just a
it's the
personal.
no. But you convinced me. You convinced me. That's what the podcast is all about. Like I have an opinion.
So
You state
prior
your
to me
facts.
trying to convince you, why don't you like this book? I'm just curious.
But prior, you know, like a lot of these, like I don't know, rare variants. It's like rare 1 in 100s.
Yeah,
It's like like there really needs to be like for me like there needs to be something crazy for me to like an artist that doesn't really do
yeah.
like a famous artist outside of like I don't know like for example like if who's the dude Michael Basquiat like if he did like a 1 in 100 like I'd be like oh man like oh my god let me buy this right.
You're like,
So
I wanted a book. That's what you
yeah,
say, something
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there's like, but if it's just like some regular guy like Del Otto, right? Like he has a 1 in 100. Like
Yeah, sure.
I don't really care too much, you know. And it's really rare that I'm like all in on like high ratio variants. I think
It's hard, right? Yeah, it's
yeah,
smart. That's smart, though. Honestly, it's smart.
the last one that I was like I got it that I was going crazy for like
Yeah.
obsessive
Uh-huh.
was the Usagi Yojimbo.
Right, and that was only
Yeah.
1 in 40, right? So it's not
Yeah.
even at, it's not even up there.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
and so for me to go crazy for like a 1 in 100, like you gotta, I don't know what you gotta do,
You got to do
but
something. You got to do something big.
yeah, you really do though.
Yeah.
So,
Dark.
but the fact that this is it's held is pretty crazy. So
Yeah,
I
mean,
guess
like
I was wrong.
literally like a week ago, like I saw one go for best offer 1100. So it was a 9.8 though, for sure. Darth Lopez, man, what are your thoughts on this book, man?
I'm kind of with Nora. I'm not a big fan of the artist. Don't know much about the character,
Mm-hmm.
but I do understand why it has value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, it's not something that I probably pick up if I had the bread, but
Yeah.
I do understand it has held its value for the most part.
For sure.
But it has all the makings, right? Everybody always talks about, right?
Yeah.
Who was buying a 1 in 100 of this book? Does anybody really care about this character outside the people who really like the character? So
Right. Mm-hmm.
it has all the makings to be, rare and triple ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could have put like a ton of different like
that
1 in 100s. I did not think about putting those 1 in 100s for the X Force #1.
that's the one. That's the 1 in 23 though. That's the 1 in 25, I believe, of that one. Of
I
the
think it is too.
Dorado.
Yeah.
The one that book and the Strange Academy 1 in 100, 1 in 50, and 1 in 20. Those books are the ones I regret the most
Yeah.
that I've sold.
There was actually a lot of 1 in 100s that I'm like, oh, okay, I would put that one on, but like I just couldn't find the good data, and I feel like I've talked about them in the past, so I
Yeah.
wanted to find something a little different. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good 1 in 100s out there that amazingly like stood the test of time and whatever. But this just always harkens back to me like, oh man, I remember like when comic collecting wasn't like all about like trying to flip and stuff. At least from my perspective, I just thought this was a solid cover and all that. But yeah, that's the last of our show.
Speaking of rare variants, the biker mice from Mars. I think that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, you put that in Discord, man.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't in their Discord, like, let me know. I'll send you guys the link. And then, yeah, I'm just, like I was saying in the beginning of the show, I've been trying to do a lot of, like, non-live videos. So I've been doing these video game collector market reports and the comic book collector market reports. I just did a One Piece one, and it got quite a bit of views. I'm trying to get more than that One Piece, like, I guess, at universe or whatever you want to call it. But I do appreciate everyone's support for sure. What you may call it?
One Piece is going crazy, baby.
Yeah, dude, it's going real crazy. But yeah, we're just chugging along here. 675 subs. Hit that like button for us and all that good stuff, fellas. Before we take off, any closing last words?
The Yankees are doing it, I guess.
My Braves are. I don't really think we're gonna make a move, but go England in the European Cup and go Argentina in La Copa America.
Go Puerto Rico, I guess, and FIBA,
Sí,
Are
okay.
they
Well,
are they in there?
coño, brother.
and then go Bronny James.
No, that's the none.
Oh man, Reed
Yeah.
Richards, baby.
I
Reed Richards.
dude, I had a 47-minute phone conversation with one of my homeboys
Oh,
about, and he just called me to rub it in. I go, why are you even bringing this shit up? He goes, because I want somebody else to be as mad as I am about everything, about Reddick, LeBron, about all that. But
I was
yeah,
like, what
you
the
know, he's
hell?
still back in LA. You know what I mean? One of
Yeah,
a homie I grew up with still around, and he knows how I love the Lakers, how I feel about it.
I saw some of
Uh,
his summer league games. He seems to be good defensively.
so,
yeah. He makes bricks though.
dude,
Those
not
he makes
good.
holes on them bricks.
He needed another year of college. But
Put him in the G League, man. Just let him season, dude. Like or
if,
whatever, man.
if that was your kid, would you do it? Would you do the same thing? I probably would. I, you
I
know,
don't think I would. I wouldn't want to be like. I wouldn't want to play basketball with my kid. That's just me personally, though. Like
is
whatever.
But you don't want to break the record, bro. You don't want to be the first.
that,
First, like father son duo.
Yeah.
well, that's what LeBron is all about. Anyway, trying to. I think this is going to hurt his legacy more than it's going to help him. My opinion. You know,
CC Thomas goes, it might get LeBron to a championship.
no, and look, Lakers fan, when we signed LeBron, we were going to be hurt long term.
It's
Instead of rebuilding in 6 years, set us back 20 years.
This is what's stupid about it, in my opinion, just because he hasn't played very well, is that LeBron is taking over a beloved franchise in
Yes.
sports.
Yes.
It's sports, not just like
Right.
fucking Cleveland or whatever.
Right.
You know, it's
no disrespect to the Celtics, but we are the NBA. Like no Celtics, they have more championships by one. But you're right, for like that's exactly what he did. That's what I mean. That's why we got no free agents. Nobody wants to play with LeBron, dude. Right? You know, like I bet you it's out there that everybody we tried to get that we couldn't get.
Yeah, you guys can't get any free agents. You got to trade. You got to trade for Brandon Ingram.
Right? Why? Because nobody wants to play with LeBron, a 38, 40-year-old LeBron, and JJ Redick ain't proven.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Hey, listen, y'all still got a title. Like you gotta try the title, bro.
The pandemic title.
Hey,
I would take it though. I'm not.
I would take it.
I'm not taking it.
I take it just like you know, our homeboys back, Dodger fans. You know, they're like, well, you know, I mean, I go, yeah, it's still
a title's a title, man. Yeah.
Everybody had the same opportunity.
Yeah.
For baseball, football, basketball, hockey,
pickleball, fuck all that shit. Yeah. So
you can't. It's a banner.
Yeah, it's a banner, man. Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. You know,
how about this? I'm so diehard. I'd give that banner back for LeBron not to come.
Oh my God! Wow, that's a big one.
So
that's a big one.
Yeah.
So no, keep the banner, man. Keep the banner, dude.
Why? We'd still have 16, bro. I mean, we'd still be good.
Do you remember? Okay, real quick before I end the show. Do you remember I remember watching those NBA like bubble games, and they had the fans in the stands on screens and shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, so fucking funny, man. Man, pandemic, what a time. All right, well,
yeah,
I gotta go renovate my basement. I want to thank the panel for coming through. I hope that Pickles is safe at Boeing, and he's not in a room under a bunker.
Getting waterboarded.
I want to thank the amazing chat you guys always bring on Sundays. That's why we keep doing the show. But if you guys could all subscribe, tell your friends, watch our past videos that we do to check us, I guess, basically. And y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine.
Follow me on IG.
And follow Fedora on IG.
I'm most active there. I don't post things about comics, but if you got any questions,
it's fucking hilarious shit. If you want to know what New York looks like, follow Fedora.
Yeah, essentially.
New York, brother.
Yo, and if anybody's in New York, stop by the shop. I'm
for sure.
There.
We will.
All right, see you.
All right, everyone. Take care.